For a fireside chat discussion, the topic of this fireside chat is personalization in BFSI, future-driven strategy for valuable customer engagement. Please join me in welcoming Sandeep Saran, Head Digital Innovation Initiatives in HDFC Securities. A very warm welcome, Sandeep. Let me also invite on the stage Rajaram Manian B, Chief Risk Officer of Adani Capital. A very warm welcome, Rajaram. Last and not the least, Rishikant Dubey, Chief Risk Officer, Poonawala Housing Finance. So this fireside would be moderated by Rishikant. Na? Rishikant, you would be doing. So over to you, Rishikant. The only caveat is that we started late, but we have to wind up in time. So I would request you, the allocated time was 30 minutes. If you can wrap it up in 20 minutes. So I'll be so grateful to you.
We'll try.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. So, this is a very less time given to us to discuss a very burning topic. We can say that contextual topic, that is personalization in BFSI. And what is the customer engagement required for having a personalization in the BFSI? We know BFSI industry itself is innovating, changing day by day, and it's not like a brand. Now everything is going towards the personal banking, where the branding is second. Now we are targeting product like Swiggy, Zomato, and Amazon. We have to think like that, where everything is personalized to the customer. But yes, we understand that this industry is very regulated, where a lot of regulations are there, where we cannot go in the market and give the product at the individual level. But yes, lot of personalization is required. And industry is moving towards that only. So we are having a very esteemed panelist. On my right, Mr. Sandeep Saran. He is working on innovations in securities, and Rajaram is working towards the risk. So to start with, to the initial thought, Rajaram, what do you think on the personalization in BFSI? Let us have initial thoughts on that.
So I think, you hit the nail. I mean, you said banking and financial has to be, similar to what we have in Swiggy and Netflix and Amazon. We all talk about KYC, know your customer, but hardly there are two C's. One is UIC and OIC. UIC is understand your customer and OIC is own your customer. I think hardly we kind of work towards that. See, while today the demand of the customer is personalized, contextualized, and dynamic needs, it's important what the customer require. I mean, there are a lot of places where the customer themselves do not know what kind of need they have. Today we talk about lending. So, I'll talk about lending since, I come from the lending space. We have all taken housing loan, we've taken car loans, we've taken, a lot of other loans. But even today, I think we feel easier to go to a bank or talk to a customer center or talk to an executive to get our needs. I mean, that has to change. That needs to be automated. That needs to be more of digital journey. We have, just to give you a context, the kind of data that we have collected in the last 30 years, we'll be collecting the next 2 years. I mean, that's the kind of data that we're going to collect, from different sources. There are real-time data, there are behavioral data, there are data from the customer themselves. So what are we going to do with this data? I mean, are we creating a context, for them to represent their needs, or do we need to go and understand their needs? So it is more of a when I say personalization, I think it is in lending, it is not only understanding, what is the loan that you require. I mean, in simple words, today people are bankers and financial institution are trying to understand, what is your problem? Lending is not a loan. Lending is a solution today. What kind of problem that we're solving. And people look at, as you said, like a Amazon. Today you have an app, you go, it understands what is the requirement. Netflix, you keep browsing, it understands that you like a certain kind of movie, you like a certain genre of movie, you like certain languages. Nobody tells. So Netflix automatically gives you options. I think that's the way that we are, evolving right now in terms of lending. That we understand your lifestyle. We try to understand what is your social needs. What is your peer pressure. What is your personal goals in life. Those are problems that we need to solve. And actually, today. One fits all kind of a solution doesn't work. The solution for anybody. Adani Capital is in financing last mile, customers like farmers, like entrepreneurs, small entrepreneurs. There's hardly any personalized, products designed for them. I think that's what we will evolve over a time. That one, personalized is also important, and engagement is also the other thing. I think these two go hand in hand. Today, we talk about lending. Once the loan is given, then you're out. We don't have an engagement with the customer. It's a journey of about 4 years to 15 years. You take a home loan for 15 years. We personally, what kind of engagement does the banker have with us? I don't think not even one call from them, right? I think first of all, conceptually, the lending organization or the financial institution has to put an engagement framework. It has to be a framework where it should evolve from uh, a product delivery to a, embedded customer data embedded kind of a relationship, over a period of time. What kind of value addition are you giving apart from the loan? What kind of problems are you solving in terms? Now, anybody who takes a commercial vehicle loan might need an insurance. He might need help in terms of understanding the fleet. So I think these are something which is we're just scratching the surface in terms of personalization in the BFSI. There's a long way to go. Uh, and as I said, technology is something which is driving that initiative. You have artificial intelligence, which understands the data requirements, the customer preferences. So today the websites of a bank, are big data oriented. They work on machine learning, and I'm sure people know that it understands what kind of browsing that you do in the bank. That's something which we're still trying to do, and it is not even caught up with the bank. The banks are so large today. Probably the fintechs are helping them out, so they don't have to work on the core area of this technology. So I think yes, Rishi, there's a lot of things that we can do.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Rajaram. Yeah, it's a good insight that yes, we are really working towards the data. Data is the king now. If we want to engage customer, innovate, or really personalization of the BFSI industry, data is the king. Where we gone beyond the things. Like earlier we were using bureau data or data which are available in the environment or our internal data. Now data is gone to social media, and all these data are churned, used for really innovating in the industry. And BFSI industry is not really apart from all these type of innovation, AI, ML and all. Now, Sandeep, question to you, what innovation and product you are looking in your industry?
Okay, good morning everybody. Thank you for the opportunity, first of all. I come from marketing background, so coming to personalizations insofar as customer engagement is concerned, I have a bit of some thoughts on that, and we are implementing these ideas. We've got there at some, we've reached some place, there are thoughts which are yet to be implemented. So I'll just talk about the journey that we are into. Giving you the background, we come from broking industry. It's a highly competitive industry where there are established players, there are non-bank players, bank players, as well as we are absolutely gutted by fintechs, right? So people who are absolutely fast on innovation and very competitive on pricing. So that's the setting that we have. In that setting, the customer has got a lot of choices. He's able to open account in just 5 minutes time. If you can't help him, he's moved on before the blink of the eye. So that's the setting that we have. So I'll talk about personalization at 3 levels. One is onboarding. That is when a customer comes in, what we are doing is we have made the journey absolutely seamless. We are able to give him an account in about 5 minutes max, barring the connectivity issues. The customer can start his journey from where exactly he left if he left earlier, right? Insofar that is concerned, he's recognized and the journey assumes the previous data that he had shared with us and continues from there. So we are absolutely able to recognize him. As part of coming in, when the account is opened, we use a lot of marketing campaign management tools so as to understand what his propensity is, what his inclination is, and give him products accordingly. So that's where the role of campaign management is. So we are good at segmenting. We've got more than 100 segments because while the industry is about trading, there are a lot of products that we offer and the customer has a lot of choices. So it is important to understand what the customer is inclined to do, right? Everybody is not into just punting. People are there for long-term investing as well. Going ahead in the journey, again, we are absolutely giving him communication as per his previous data thrown at us, in a sense that whatever his engagement has been, the products that he has liked, the pages he has clicked, and again, this is all possible by way of marketing campaign management tools. And thirdly, if the customer wants to come back to us and ask for his details, he clearly, today everybody wants to be recognized. You cannot go into your bank and expect that, and people have the expectation that you are recognized. So much is digitally true as well. So if you are dialing in, if you are emailing us, we should be able to know and respond accordingly as per your obviously your commercial status is there with us. Especially people who have been giving business do expect very personalized services. So that's what we are geared up to do. So we are making IVR, API-based IVR services. Then the customer is calling from his registered number. He is recognized in typically in our space. Customer has got multiple trading accounts on one registered number. So if he keys in his right trading account number, he can avail host of services based on API. So it's basically DIY kind of a setup wherein if he wants a statement, he can get the statement. If he wants to know his demat account number, people tend to forget that. He can get the demat account number right away on an email or an SMS. Moving ahead, if he shoots an email to us, then obviously we categorize the customer basis his commercial relationship with us and are able to put it on a specific desk so that he gets due priority depending on his relationship with us, and we are able to respond. So these are a couple of things that we've been doing, and we have not reached there. This journey would not end. So there is a huge space to travel.
Yeah, Sandeep, good insight on the securities market, where really it's a, I cannot quote it like a personalization of the BFSI, but it's a hyper personalization, where really products are offered customer based and on the basis of individual customers. So when we talk about the innovation or when we are innovating and personalization of in the BFSI industry, there is always a risk. always a little bit of a risk. That may be a compliance risk, maybe a regulatory risk. So Rajaram, what is your view on that? How we are really managing this type of risk when we are really going for personalization of the bank?
Yeah, I think you touched upon the very sensitive area, especially when I think we're going to have a lot of discussion on the digital regulations that the RBI has put on. So, as I said, the kind of data that we are going to capture, and when you're working on personalization and when you're working on digitization, there is a humongous data that you need to capture, as well as there is an exposure of the customer's data with outsiders, as well as your data with the outsiders. So there is a high level of risk of data privacy and data leak. I think which is paramount for any organization, uh, uh, because unless there is a security, data security for the customer, and the customer also believes that if he has to go through a digital journey, his data is secured. See, today a lot of even among us, uh, we hesitate, while we submit any application online, or we submit any kind of data for any kind of engagement. The first thing that we are uh, kind of apprehensive is that what could happen to our data, and will it be misused. So as a part of the risk fraternity, I think the first thing that every organization has to do is the data security architecture. That has to be really foolproof. A lot of investment goes into that, a lot of thinking goes into that, and the entire customer journey is mapped, and the data leaks are actually simulated, and you build firewalls, you build mechanism which can actually withstand the threat of the data from outside world. And believe me, the frauds are also evolving over a period of time. It is getting more sophisticated and sophisticated. It's like, while you build a firewall, there is always a mechanism to breach that, and people are smart enough to do that. So data security, the data confidence, for the customers is going to drive this digital journey initiative. Uh, so there is in Europe, there is an index for we call DESI. It's a data efficiency and the social index. In that, there is a small country called even the smallest countries, Netherlands, I think Germany is the best in terms of that. Uh, Data competitiveness. I think we are about 40, 44 or 40, around 40. I mean, I was reading an article. We were far behind that particular index. So I think we will have to give that confidence to the customers, to share their data, and feel free to pass through that journey of digital.
Yeah, right. So really, lot of work needs to be done towards when we are talking about innovation. Yes, we need to be compliant as well as risk mitigate the risk which is coming out of the innovation. If we are really personalizing the in BFSI personalizing banking, then really we need to have some innovation around where we can really secure the data of the customer, or where we are working fully compliant as a regulated environment. Because really ultimately it's a customer whom we are servicing. So their data needs to be very much secured, as well as we must manage our risk also. When we are innovating, yes, lots of risk are coming around onboarding of the customer, whether really I'm onboarding a correct customer. Around that, we must have a early warning triggers, early warning signals, so that innovation will not come with a huge risk. So innovation should come, but our risk needs to be managed. So Sandeep, one question to you: how you are thinking of segregation or segmentation of the customer and innovation?
So first, since both of you are risk people, and you've been talking about, I should touch upon that as well. The first person that I go to when you are implementing anything or wanting to implement anything is the compliance officer or the chief risk officer only. So it's only after the process is approved we implement, right? But over time we have started using and experimenting other setups as well, which were either to absolutely, uh, not used by us, like cloud. We have gone on to use cloud-based applications, and we don't see any. We have not seen any breach or anything. We find absolutely comfortable. The go-to-market time is less, and the costs are low. So we are full on in terms of experimenting, provided you follow the rules of the land plus the company guidelines. So there are no stops as I see. We are totally compliant though. Let me tell you, we have not had any breach of data.
Yeah.
So just to add to his point, so we have a philosophy in the organization. It's called tele approach. We try, there's an error, there's learning, and then implement. So there's a lot of things, because today the personalization of BFSI itself is a new space. So you keep on trying it, and that's the way you learn.
Yeah, rightly said. Yes, since this is not, we cannot say that it's a new for us. Personalization as well as innovation is continuous process. What we were doing now, the way of thinking, our way of doing the this personalization has little bit changed. Here now we are using lot of data, lot of rather we are having lot of precedence of fintechs and other industries also working towards that, and we are having examples on innovations. So similar type of innovation are really we are thinking in the BFSI industry also. So Rajaram, one question to you is how in a NBFC sector, how we are really segmenting the customer to achieve the innovation?
So I think, as Sandeep said, segmentation is absolutely important for personalization. In NBFC, I think the biggest segment is new to customer, and a customer is already exposed to credit. And today, the space for the new to customer, who's actually taking a loan for the first time, I think that's the broadest segment that I could think of. And obviously then you have a sub-segment of the kind of loan that he's taking, whether it's a commercial vehicle loan, or it is a home loan, or is it an auto loan, or is it a farm loan. That's the second segment. Then, of course, there is a segmentation in terms of geography. There is a segmentation in terms of the the bureau data that you have. How good the customer is, and what is the economic index. So I think today the data availability, across the spectrum, thanks to the government, where you have a GST data, you have data regarding climate, you have geospatial data. It'd be very interesting to know that, today farmers know what exactly is the soil quality. If I'm going to assess any customer of a particular region, I know that his yield on a certain crop is going to be X. This is the chance of the crop failure. This is the kind of the moisture that you have. I think these are the segmentation that you have for the NBFC.
Right, Raja. In the sense, really, we have to understand the geography, the product, the segment where we are really working, and accordingly, the products needs to be personalized. Personalized in the sense it may be a segment-wise, it may be on the basis of area, geography, and all. So, Sandeep, one question coming in my mind to link it with the securities. What any specific innovation we are doing in the securities market where we are really targeting the customer and engaging the customer?
We are trying different technologies like voice also. Voice, RPA. The whole point is understanding what the customer requires and responding to his queries fast. That's one. If he's touching any of our applications, then obviously we should be able to recognize him and give him the services on DIY basis, do-it-yourself basis. And if we are reaching out to the customer and giving him some recommendation. It has to be obviously absolutely segmentized and based on his propensity. So not everything is just about technology. A lot of discussion and deliberation has to go in at the end of the product team, marketing team, plus the data team. Data is critical here. So all these three guys, that's a setup that we have, and that's how we have evolved. They need to come together, understand what is happening, understand the behavior of the customer, and then put things in place so that we are able to deliver the personalization. So that's how it is.
Yeah, thank you. So yes, really what comes in my mind is now BFSI, whether it's a bank, it's an insurance company or it's an NBFC, needs to work like a GeoMart, needs to work like a big bazaar, where it's not like that I went and want to purchase grocery only. If I'm going to the bank, yes, I need insurance, I can take. If I need security, demat account, it must be there. So the thing is personalization or the shop is going to be very comprehensive and combined shop. It is not like that I am doing a particular industry, I am going to the bank and shopping for the bank. Yes, we must innovate, or we need to innovate and engage the customer so that customer feel like he is coming in a shop where he will get all plethora of the product in an innovative way. Or we can say that in the click of a button, or in a simple device which everybody is having now, they can really get every product. So the innovation is expected to move towards the level where customer is engaged 24/7. Our customer, whenever he think, he get the product. So that is the one idea about the customer engagement and innovation or personalization in the industry. Any wrap-up comment from you, Rajaram?
No, you're right, Rishi. We need to be a new Netflix or new GeoMart in the BFSI space, whether it's a payment or whether it's insurance or it's a home loan. I still, go to the bottom line of BFSI as a solution provider for the customer, and also understand that engagement as well as tailoring the product, for the customer, and not what you have. It's easy to say. It's always that I have some product and I want to sell it. I think you need to innovate on product, and it can't be only for a specific segment of customer. When I say maybe an industry, a certain industry, it has to be for every small customer, every individual customer. If we're able to personalize them based on their needs, I think it will be great.
Yeah, thank you, Rajaram. Sandeep, any closing remark on this?
We're very bullish on new technologies, especially voice. We feel that it can deliver much more, and probably the UI UX thing will be thing of the past in about 5 years time or so, because voice would have taken over this space. And if you are able to speak to a customer in his dialect and give him what he wants, and push the communication as required by him, I think that will be great. So we have not reached there. We are just into early days. But since we're talking about personalization and you're wanting to talk about innovation and peep into the future, I think that's the thing that we would like to work on.
Yeah, thank you, Sandeep. Yes, really, new generation or new era or coming times, next 10 year, we can say it's totally work will be on the personalization in BFSI. Yes, we have to achieve, since we are in a market where expectation, there is nothing like now generation X, generation Y and all. Everybody is now having mobile phone, and you cannot say that they are tech savvy, these people are not tech savvy. Everybody is, now we can see that in rural area also, our 80 to 90% payments are coming through UPIs and all. So this is a new era where we cannot say we have to have a product for generation X, generation Y. We have to have a product for everyone, and it must be personalized as well as it must be innovative. So customer engagement is going to be the king, and new product innovation and development is going to be the next generation era, next era. So with this If any question is from the audience, we can take. Otherwise, I think we have taken less than 30 minutes.
Yeah, thank you,
Thank you.
Rishikant. Thank you so much. Well moderated this session. I'm afraid because of paucity of time, again, like yesterday, today as well, there was a delay. And the delay, which I spoke to our people, it was primarily because of the beautiful beaches we have outside. So anyway, let me invite on the stage our Principal Secretary, Expenditure, Government of Maharashtra, Shri O.P. Gupta ji, to hand over the speaker mementos to these gentlemen here. We'll start with Sandeep Saran, Head of Digital Innovation Initiatives in HDFC Securities. Sandeep Saran being handed over a speaker memento by Principal Secretary, Expenditure, Government of Maharashtra, O.P. Gupta. Also a copy of BFSI magazine to be presented to them. Next speaker memento for Rajaram Manian B, Chief Risk Officer of Adani Capital. And then last and not the least, Rishikant Dubey, the Moderator, Chief Risk Officer from Poonawala Housing Finance. I would also request my team to give the magazine copies to them for a group photograph, a group session, BFSI magazine.